Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the beautiful Mississippi River. The water is finally back to normal out here. It is no longer flooding, so sadly, there probably won't be any more flood fishing videos for just a little bit, but instead, I can now take the boat out and show you guys all of my favorite spots on the Mississippi River for catching some giant smallies. And of course, we're gonna throw around some big topwater lures for them and try to get some crazy topwater strikes on camera. It's a beautiful morning to do some fishing. Let's get rigged up, let's get all ready, and let's catch some fish out of the Mississippi River. We're gonna start out this morning at this small rock shoreline here. There's a couple of trees that are overhanging into the water, and then once we get around this corner, there's a few bridges down there that usually hold some big fish. So we'll toss around the pompadour topwater and see if any of these smallies are hungry. Just gonna cast it as close as I can to the rocks and try to get those fish to come off the rocks and eat. The girlfriend's gonna join us in a few hours here. I've got a couple spots I want to take her to that should almost guarantee some big fish. She'll join us in a few hours to fish and film for the rest of the day, but until then, I'm just gonna keep making my way down this shoreline, casting at these rocks. I'm trying to see if I can't find some fish. First one of the day is definitely not a big one, just a little guy. A nice chunky but super small fish to start it off. Can't complain. 2 or 3 casts in, and we've already got the first fish. Nothing wrong with that at all. Pop the hook out of you, buddy, and send you on your way. Make sure she swims off all right. And there she goes. First fish. Definitely not the size I'm after, but I'll still take it. Let's keep on making our way down this shoreline, keep on casting these rocks, and see if we can't catch one a little bit bigger. Just a little guy. Crazy aggressive little guy though, that's for sure. Not the size I'm looking for, but they're always fun when they eat topwater. Just gonna send it right back. There's just something about watching a fish blow up on it off the surface that is just so exciting. Let's keep making our way down these rocks. Try to find that big fish. Get it as close as you can up there. Just slowly bring it off. What you're doing is just drawing fish out of the rocks. That's why I love big topwater lures. It is awesome at drawing both big and small fish out of structure, and in this case, rocks. Smallies sure do love the rocks. If you have a lure that'll draw them out of those rocks, it's about the best thing you can do. If I'm not throwing a topwater, I'm throwing a glide. Another great lure for getting these fish out of the rocks. We're gonna keep making our way down here. We have got probably 15 miles of shoreline. I doubt I'm gonna fish all of it, but I at least want to get maybe 4 or 5 miles of it trying to catch as many fish as I can today. You are not what I'm out here after. It's just a little pike. An aggressive one, but just a little guy. I'm gonna see if I can get the hook out of this guy nice and easy. Not what I'm after, but still a fun fish on topwater, that's for sure. It's always fun when they eat it multiple times. The aggressive ones are always the most fun ones. This fish was not letting this bait get away. Beautiful little fish, still smaller than what I'm looking for. But like I said, can't complain when I'm catching a fish every 10 casts. It is always fun. Back-to-back fish too. A little better one. Oh, and he got the hook out himself. Maybe a little over 2 pounds smallie. Back-to-back casts. Beautiful, beautiful river fish. The colors on these guys are just gorgeous. Still haven't seen the size I'm looking for. The problem with the river is there is just so many little smallmouth. You could have a 4-pounder mixed in with a bunch of 1-pounders. And usually those 1-pounders are so much more aggressive that they always seem to get to it first before that 4-pounder even has a chance. That's what I like about big lures like this. You can usually weed out most of those smaller fish, but then again, almost all the smallmouth in here are just unbelievably aggressive. Doesn't matter how big of a lure you got, they are gonna eat that, or at least try to. Just gotta get lucky. Have that 4-pounder eat it first. Definitely a better fish. Nice 2.5 pound smallmouth on topwater. Great looking fish and a great fight out of them. Just a beauty. I've made it down to the other side of the river. Right now I'm trying a different shoreline, and I've probably had 3 or 4 fish blow up on it in the last 10 minutes. So I think it's time to go pick up Emma and finish off the rest of the day doing some fishing with her. I actually skipped every single one of the bridges today. I didn't fish any of the bridges. I wanted to save all those really good spots for when I'm fishing with her. Try to give her the best chance at some really big fish. We haven't caught anything giant yet, but I can promise you guys, at one of these bridges, there's about a 100% chance we're gonna find some really big bass. I'm gonna head on back, go pick her up, and I will see you guys in a few hours. I'm gonna give this shoreline one more try now that we're getting a little later into the day. See if maybe some of these big smallies might have pushed right back up under these rocks. While I'm throwing around this topwater, Emma's gonna be throwing around the topwater whopper plopper, and I'm curious to see which topwater these smallies prefer most. We'll fish all the way down the shoreline, fish the bridge a little bit, and see if we can't find some more big fish here. We've got 2 or 3 hours until it starts getting dark, and I'm thinking the closer we get to dark, the more aggressive these fish are going to start biting topwater. We'll just keep on making our way down, throw both these lures up against the rocks, and try to find some big fish here. Nice little smallie on the topwater. Definitely not a giant, but they are always fun when they eat it right off the surface. Send you right back, buddy. Nothing like watching a fish blow up on it off the surface. This is definitely by far my favorite way to fish smallies. I'm gonna get this thing out of the net, keep on casting, make my way down this shoreline a little more, and see what else I can catch. Nice big chunky smallie. Beautiful 4-pound smallie on topwater. Super chunky fish. Coming in at a little under 20 inches. This is exactly what we're out here after. I'm gonna send her right back. Make sure she swims off. I waited around for a few minutes to make sure that fish didn't come back up to the surface. Sadly, there was a little bit more blood than I would have liked. I hooked him right inside one of his gills. Instead of even trying to pull it out, I just cut the hook on it I wasn't even going to try to yank it out. It's a lot safer to just cut the hook and call it a loss. Not really much else I could have done about that. Sadly, we hooked it in the one spot. I was really hoping I wouldn't hook a fish today. That's fishing. It's not always going to be perfect, but swam off safely. I held it there for a little bit, made sure it swam off, and I haven't seen it come back up to the surface. I'm praying that fish is safe and sound. Beautiful 4-pound, little under 20-inch smallmouth, 19 and a half, and just a beauty, right under the bridge of all places. That is so cool. I'm gonna keep on casting, put another hook on this guy, throw it back out, and see what I catch next. I'm gonna try to see how far I can actually get down here. Not too sure how shallow it is. Might be too shallow to even get all the way down there. But I'm gonna try anyway. See if I can make it all the way down to the mouth of that creek right there. There's a good chance there might be some big smallies up there. I think this whole entire area is no more than a couple feet deep. Doesn't look like there's any quality fish in here, so I'm going to turn right back around and go back to the main river and continue fishing that shoreline down there. Come here, buddy. Another nice one on the topwater. Not super fat, but definitely a long fish. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Let's send her right back. The Smallies are definitely loving topwater today. Even in the middle of the day, they are loving the topwater. A lot of people think that when it's the middle of a hot summer day, you're not going to catch fish on topwater. And to be completely honest with you guys, if you're out on the Mississippi River, it doesn't matter what time of day it is, what day it is, how the weather conditions are, how the water conditions are. It does not matter. Even if it's the middle of a hot summer day, you throw around some topwater, you will catch fish. I come out here, I fish sunrise to sunset, and I rarely ever take off topwater. Doesn't matter what day it is, doesn't matter the weather conditions. I'm always catching fish on topwater, and that is what I love about the Mississippi River. I'm gonna get right back out there, keep on casting, and see if I can't get Emma on a big fish. I'm surprised they're not eating the whopper plopper. Usually 90% of people, all they do is fish whopper ploppers, spooks, and other topwaters like that. That's what I love about throwing a lure like this. I can promise you there's not very many people fishing this style of topwater, and that's why I always like to throw it. Rarely do these fish see a lure like this, so when they do, they're usually pretty aggressive towards it. We'll keep on making our way all the way down to the end of this shoreline. We've got another bridge coming up, and I'm curious to see maybe there's some big ones under that bridge too. He was just kind of hiding right up by that stump. Not a bad one either. Another chunky smallie, just kind of hanging around a little stump. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Maybe 17, 18-inch smallie. Make sure she swims off, and there she goes. What a great looking fish. That's what I love about the river. Even though you run into a whole lot of little smallies, if you stick to throwing fairly large lures, you're gonna find those fairly large smallmouth. And that's what it's all about. Let's keep on throwing this thing around here. I'd say 3 out of every 4. Oh, there was another fish right away. 3 out of every 4 of the logs you see floating in the water are gonna hold smallies. Not all of them, but the majority of them do. I've found almost all my biggest smallmouth on this part of the river have all came from these trees here. I think there's about 3 or 4 more of them, as you can see up by the shoreline here. We'll keep on casting, fish all these rocks, see if we can't find some more big fish. Keep bringing them up here. There you go. That's a little better one. Oh, he even got the hooks out himself too. Another nice one on the plopper. I'd say it's been a fish maybe every 5 to 10 casts out here, which is definitely nothing to complain about. Let's send her right back. We finally got some peace and quiet out here, and it is turning out to be a beautiful night out on the river. We're coming up on another bridge, if you guys can see it way down at the end there. We'll fish this shoreline all the way down to the bridge, and then once we get to the bridge, we are going to call it a night. We'll give the bridge a little bit, make a few casts in there, see if there's any big fish hiding under the bridge, and then by then, it's probably going to be dark, so we're just going to have to sadly call it a night. See if we can't get a few more fish here quick first. I'd say we've got maybe 10 or 15 minutes until that sun is fully down. Should be the perfect time for some big fish on topwater. Gotta love the crazy aggressive fish. Just absolutely smoked it. Just a little guy. Nothing crazy, but a fun fish on topwater. While I was bringing this guy in, Emma caught an even bigger fish. I didn't even know they got that big in here. Personal best for sure. Surprisingly, there's a lot more little fish over here than I was thinking today. Usually it's mostly quality fish, especially when you're throwing topwater. But I'll take any fish of any size when they want to eat it off the surface. Don't care how big or how small they are just a blast. Definitely beats getting skunked. There's another one. Back-to-back cast too. Aw, man. The old jump and spit. Smallies sure are good at that. Not a bad fish either. I'm gonna have to guess that it's not gonna be the last one that eats. Perfect time for some big ones. I think once we get up to that bridge, we've got a pretty good chance at something big. Cast right up there. Where I just... Oh, never mind. He came back. I tried. Alright, buddy. There might be another one up there. If you cast way up there, you got a good chance of catching one. Not a bad fish. Maybe a little over 2 pounds. Nice little smallie. Oh no, we got a train coming. They're definitely aggressive right now. That's been maybe a fish blowing up on it every single cast. I think it's about time to call it a night. I hope you guys did enjoy. Today was just incredible. I caught some fish on topwater, I caught some big fish on topwater, and also Emma caught some fish on topwater. Can't complain with that at all. Today was awesome. As always, if you made it this far into the video, I picked up a second one of the exact same lures to give away to one of you guys. And if you want to win this lure, all you have to do is, of course, like the video and leave a comment down below your best fishing experience of 2024 so far. Whether you caught a lot of fish, you caught a big fish, or you just had a good time with your family, whatever it is, let me know down in the comments. And I would love to hear some of your guys' stories. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. You truly mean the world to me. I'm gonna get out of here before it's pitch black. It is nice and peaceful out here, finally calm, no other boats on the water, but I've still got maybe a 6 or 7 mile run all the way back to the launch. So I think it's about time to call it a night. Thanks for watching, and peace out. Get it right in front of the school, and they should just eat it right away. Just a little guy, but I'm guessing that is going to be the first of many. We'll fish these for 10 or 15 minutes, try to get her on a bunch of fish, just like that guy. And then we'll go back to the Smallies. Is it a nice one? This is, it's gonna be crazy. Oh, that is a really nice one. If you need players, let me know, I'll get it out. I'm gonna try to catch as many as I can here.